Speaking of all that, man, we want to jump into that NC2A run, man. I mean, first of all, that 92-93 team. Couple of questions, man. One, did y'all know y'all was gonna be that good? Like when y'all in practice, did y'all say, you know what, man, we got something here? Especially when Corliss wasn't even, he was injured.
Right. So that 92-93 season was different because one, like you said, Corliss was injured, and two, we were all still fairly new, with the exception of the guys who had redshirted that were there playing behind Todd, Dave, Oliver Miller, and that group.
Yeah.
And so when we came in there, the best thing I think we ever did was when I decided to go there early, even though I was late for summer school, I was still able to be there working out with the guys because we got together every day and we played. That's what we did. We played every day at a certain time. Didn't matter if it was basketball camp, we were going to hoop. And so a lot of times Todd Day, who had just been drafted, he would come back. Lee Mayberry would come back. Oliver Miller would come back. Isaiah Morris, who was a second-round draft pick off that team, he would come back. So we got a chance to hoop against pros every day without having to travel out of state or do anything for it. We just got great run every day.
Wow.
And so there was this one day where they had, and I think Corliss had just came back because he had hurt his foot 2 times. He hurt it in the summer and he hurt it in the fall, but he just came back. So he played with us that particular day. And it was myself, him, really that starting lineup group, Clint McDaniel, Dwight Stewart, myself, and Corliss playing against Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Isaiah Morris. And that first day, man, they kicked our butts. I mean, they kicked our butts for every game that we played them. They kicked our butts. Well, the next day we come back, and we were like, we're going same teams. And they were laughing like, same team? Like, man, we just kicked y'all butt yesterday. So we like, no, we're going same squad. And we went same squad, and man, we let them have it all day. And after that, we gonna hang out and we're talking. We're like, man, we got a chance to be pretty good. We gonna be able to beat some people. So fast forward, we get to the year, had a decent season, made the Sweet 16. We lose to North Carolina, who won it that year. That was Derek Phelps, Brian Reese.
Yep.
Who else they had? Big Lynch, George Lynch.
George Lynch.
On the glass, we come box them out. So we get back, we go straight to Coach Richardson. We're like, Coach, we just need 2 big guys. Same squad. Give us 2 big guys. We're going to win that. And he was like, y'all really think so? He was like, yeah. He went out and signed Big Darnell Robbins, who was McDonald's All-American.
Big Darnell Robbins.
6'11". Went out and signed Lee Wilson, another McDonald's All-American.
Big ball head Wilson.
And we never looked back.
Man, what was y'all practices like? Did y'all did Nolan Richardson like, we finna make these motherfuckers cough the ball up almost every trip. We pressing the whole game, man to man. I don't want no airspace. That's how y'all play, bro. What the hell was y'all practices was like?
Well, that's what's funny. Everybody think that the 40 minutes of hell moniker came from the games, but it really came from the practices. And so our first 40 minutes of practice, we would warm up, because Coach's biggest deal is when he walk in the gym, he's not warming you up.
Shoes tied.
He don't have time for you to be stretching. Yeah, you better be ready to go. Whatever sweat you needed to get prior to, you better already got it. Because when he come in there, he blowing the whistle, and it's on. And so we would run a lot of laps, a lot of defensive slides, a lot of water ball stuff, a lot of 3-man weave, 3-on-2, 2-on-1 break, and you look up and it's 40 minutes gone, and you're like, now we get ready to start practice. And so we practice like that every day, even though the practices weren't even though they weren't long, they felt long. So when we got to the game, we always felt like, man, all the stuff we've been going through, man, these dudes got to pay for that. Like, we can't be doing all this running and conditioning and slide, and they don't see any of it. So we just try to take our practice to the game, and that's fortunate for us that's what worked.
Dude, y'all was like the baby Loyola Marymount team. Like, y'all had to be the best conditioned basketball team because y'all never stopped running, bro. Like, y'all pressed, we running on offense. We may pass it around a couple of times, but our offense was predicated off our defense.
Right. Well, the one thing that was different for us, and this is what I learned about college, is in high school you get to play the whole game, no matter if you're playing good or you bad, because the coach needs you to win the game. Well,
Right.
Coach Richardson had this deal where he wanted you to go out there and compete hard for 3 or 4 minutes, and then be willing to raise your hand and get a sub. And once I figured out the nuances of, instead of me trying to play, I'm gonna play 28 minutes, but instead of me trying to play 14 straight,
Right.
I'm playing 3 or 4 hard and getting a blow, and let my other teammate go out there fresh, because most of the time the other team is leaving their guy out there who's tired because they may not be as deep as us. And so over time, you look up, you playing against a tired guy, now you just blowing by him because he's stuck in the mud, because he's had to play 38 minutes and most of them straight versus us getting blows.
Right. Wow.
I wanted to ask you about this, man. You had Coach Richardson, and
Damn.
particularly back in that time, it was like John Thompson.
Right.
You had Coach Richardson. We didn't see a lot of African American coaches. Man, what was it like playing for Coach Richardson?
Man, it was good, but it was tough, because Coach didn't really have a filter, and Coach didn't really have a
He can get
quote unquote chain of command in terms of how he distributed, butt chewings. He didn't really care if it was Corliss or myself or Corey or Dwight. It didn't matter. He didn't care if you were a walk-on or a dude who was barely playing or a dude playing 30 minutes a game. If he had something he was going to say, he was going to give it to you how he wanted to give it to you. You just had to be man enough to take it. It wasn't going to be said politically correct.
Yep.
He wasn't going to care about your feelings. Now, you could go talk to him after practice if you had a problem with it, which most of us were afraid to do. But during practice and,
Yeah.
man, hey, man, you heard what he said. Like, let's go, baby. Let's get to work. And so it was tough. And it was demanding. And it was challenging.
Hey, let me just add to that. See, I'm glad I was already groomed for that shit in high school. See, there was Pingator. He not going to tear William down. He just going to say some shit to motivate him.
Right.
But my coach, Luther Bedford, like Nolan Richardson, I don't give a fuck. I ain't saying shit to motivate. Fuck you. Like, now what? Do what the fuck I say or come out the game.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So he groomed me for any hard coaches and all that yelling. I look at their ass and smile, be like, okay, coach. Like that shit going in one end out the other.
You getting off easy.
Yeah, like you ain't gonna get me off my motherfucking game with all that yelling and okay, I'm gonna let you know you got through to me. But now, shit, I'm still finna go out here and do me.
Yeah.
Hey, Scotty, let's talk about that run to the finals, man. I mean, when I look at the teams y'all beat to get there, Georgetown, Tulsa, Michigan. I mean, y'all beat the 5-5.
Yeah.
Arizona, Duke, with a Grant Hill making his come out party.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean the names y'all beat: Jalen Rose, Jimmy King, Jawan, Damon Stoudemire, Khalid Reeves, Grant Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, take us through, walk us through the tournament, man. That's insane.
Man, it was really crazy because see, we had felt like we were disrespected all year, and so everybody was saying we weren't number one, even though we were number one for the most weeks I think at that time in like history for number one seed, for overall number one seed. But we really just never felt like we got the respect we deserve. So for us, when you get a chance to play a team like Georgetown, how else can you obtain your respect when you're playing against a nationally recognized program like that? So for us, we want to go out there and put our best foot forward. I actually was ejected from that game. I didn't even get a chance to finish that game. Clint McDaniel and Robert Churchwell got into it at half court, and my reaction was to just step on the floor. I didn't run on the floor, but I took a step on the court. So I took a step, and our trainer pushed me back, but the referee was standing right there. And so he said,
that's
gone.
right. I remember that now.
All right, because you couldn't be on the court. So I got ejected.
Yep, you just made a gesture like you was finna come on the court.
Yeah.
And they was like, no, he didn't really rush. Like, is they gonna eject him for that?
Yeah.
Yep, that was big news.
Yeah. So I wound up watching the game in the locker room, and that was like early in the game. That was like, early first half. And but the guys on Georgetown had like 6 guys run almost to half court, and I think they only ejected like 1 guy. Not even the 2 guys who fought got to stay in the game. Clint McDaniel and Robert Churchwell. So we win that game. The next game was against Tulsa, and that was a big-time game for us because Coach Richardson actually attended Tulsa and had coached there. And our assistant coach, Mike Anderson, played point for him at Tulsa. So that was a big game, and we battled them already in the regular season. And so that was a high-scoring game. They could really shoot the basketball, but we got through that. Then we got to Dallas, and then that's when my man Bill Clinton showed up. And so now we had, those guys. We had Tulsa, then we had Michigan. So that was a big deal. Playing the 5-4, playing Juwan Howard, playing against Jalen Rose. No, that was a big deal for us. But we were able to overcome that game. And then when we get to the Final Four, and we had Arizona up first with Damon Stoudemire and Khalid Reeves.